So today I'm going to be installing an aftermarket radio media receiver. So this is on my 2001 Toyota Camry. There's no aux, there's no nothing. This is 2022 and we need something better. So anyways, these are the tools that we're going to be using. I got my snap-on gun here with my 10 mil. I just disconnected the battery with this. You don't need a snap-on gun and the socket like that. You can just use a 10mm wrench. I got an interior trim clip puller that you can get from the auto parts stores. I have a flathead screwdriver, and then these wire cutters and crimpers. And then you can use either butt connectors, which are a lot cleaner for the job, or you can use these wire nuts, but I'll kind of show you why these are kind of a pain. I prefer to use the butt connectors as long as I have enough wire. But anyways, I'll get started on what we need to do to remove this radio. Alright, so first things first, we have this plastic piece all around the radio here and the climate control center. Anyways, kind of just gonna, there's a little hole down here. You kind of just pull it out. Wherever you can find a hole, you kind of just pull. There it is. And so I'll keep going up, around, and now this whole thing is out. They literally just snap in. Don't overthink it. They're pretty, you know, they're cheap cars, you know what I mean? Like, whatever is gonna get off the production line pretty quick. Anyways, again, this is 2001 Camry. Probably be the same for, you know, 99 or 97 all the way to 2001 or 2002, whenever they stop with this body style. But anyways, I'm gonna unplug the cigarette lighter. It'll be this little thing right here. and excuse me, it'll be this connector, and then there's one more underneath it down there that you can probably barely see. There it is. So I'll unplug both those connectors, and then I'll pull this whole thing out and put it to the side. Alright, so now that I've got this out, I can show you guys kind of the connection points. There's one up top, there's one right below it, right there, and then there's a light bulb that goes into the centerpiece of that. So I end up pulling all three of those things out. You can just take this trim piece and put it to the side now. You can see all your connections here. Don't worry about these. So right here is your climate control, and here's our radio. It's going to be held in by these 4 screws here. So I will grab my 10 mil. And again, you don't need a snap-on gun to do this. You can just go ahead and use a ratchet. Just makes my life easier with the gun. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Get it out here. There it is. So these 4 bolts. Then go ahead and pull the radio out. I might need to do this with 2 hands because there's going to be some connectors on the back. But let's see here. Okay, I can let it rest on the shift knob here. And scoot up. I'll kind of show you guys. There's that connector back there. I'm just going to go ahead and pull that off. Might need to do it with 2 hands. Well, there's this connector too, but that's right above the main one. The main one gives power, hooks up the speakers and everything. But anyways, I'm gonna do this with 1 hand and then show you guys where it's at and how to get it out once I get it out. All right, so the radio's out. It's a 2-part connector here. So I'll go ahead and put this one to the side. You can see 2-part connector. And then I said earlier, you'll have to unplug one of these wires. I think it fell back in here. Here it is. Pretty sure this is for radio signal. anyways, this one I didn't do anything. This one is actually loose here on the harness, so not sure what this brown is for, but this is where you're gonna look at your diagram. So I imagine they got it split up, power, ground, a couple other things, and then speakers here on this main one. It's funny because brown goes here too, so there's also brown here. So I have to see if it's brown and black or if it's solid brown and kind of mess with that. But now we're gonna go to the radial wiring diagram before we start cutting things up. And this is why you want to go ahead and look up your radial wiring diagram, because had I assumed that certain colors were going to do certain things, I would have this wired up wrong. So looks like on the larger harness we have green, pink, gray, blue with a yellow stripe, regular blue, violet, and brown. So brown is going to be our ground, violet or purple is going to be our front left speaker, blue is going to be front right. Negative side for the front left and front right. Green is going to be front right positive. Pink is going to be front left positive. So everything on this is going to be the front speakers. Brown is the ground. The blue and yellow is the 12 volt always on, and the gray is going to be the 12 volt only when ignition is on. Then on the smaller harness we got our rear speakers, positive and negative. So our black is going to be our rear left speaker positive, red's going to be our rear right speaker positive, and then white's going to be rear right speaker negative, and yellow is going to be rear left speaker negative. So this smaller this smaller wire harness has everything to do with positive and negative for our rear speakers. The whole left side of this has everything to do with our positive and negative for our front speakers. Brown is our ground, gray is our 12 volt only when ignition is on, and blue and yellow is our constant 12 volt. So now we can pull this jacket back and we can start cutting these wires, because we're not going to need these connectors. The new radio will come with connectors, so I'll go ahead and pull that out, show you what all that comes with, and then we'll go ahead and get to cutting, and then using our butt connectors, and then crimping everything up. So here's this touch screen head unit that I got from Walmart. It says works with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, blah blah blah, all that good stuff. So go ahead and open this up. Dang, hard to do with one hand. So box here, probably full of stuff, instructions which we don't need. Well, we do need them to tell us where the what wires are doing what. But anyways, styrofoam, and then we have the receiver. Alright, it's actually kind of nice. Not bad for some Walmart stuff. Silica gel. Get out of here. Alright. So, oh, I guess this USB plug-in's for the backup camera. This does have a backup camera. It is compatible with the backup camera. So anyways, yeah. It's not looking too bad. Anyways, hopefully it's got some better mounting hardware. And let's see here. So we've got a microphone. We'll be able to plug into the back of the radio here where it says mic. Microphone, go there. You can put it on your dash or wherever. Just put it somewhere that you're actually going to be able to hear yourself, like where people can hear you on the phone call. Here's all the wires, and it's telling you they're already labeled actually. That's nice. Line out for subs. Oh, this is for amp and subs. Wow. Okay. Well, this one's gonna go into this port here, but we don't need that. We need this one. It's gonna be our main one. Oh, nice. It's got a remote. That's actually not bad. Here's the ones we need. Battery switches, ground, 12 volt positive, negative. We'll be opening this one up. Bunch of screws to mount it, and then a face cover plate to fill in the gaps, and that's it for the box. That's that for the instructions. So anyways, I will go ahead and keep this together here. I don't have a backup camera, so eventually maybe, but not now. And then we'll go ahead and open this up here. Alright, so you can see this is going to plug into here. Just snaps in. I'm going to take it out right now though, because I need to start splicing these wires into here. So I personally would rather do this like this than grabbing this and having this up there and then blah blah blah. Just do it all here, then when you're done, plug the radio in. So anyways, we're gonna get started. Alright, so now that I've pulled my jackets back, we've already referred to the wiring diagram. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start cutting these off. I'm going to cut it as close to the connector as possible, so that way I can save me some length here. So you're just going to take your cutters, and they cut inside here in the V here. You don't want to cut anywhere up top here. This is for trimming the jackets off the wires. So go ahead and, like I said, I'm gonna cut it as close as possible to the connector. Just go ahead and snip it. And then this other one we'll have to do in 2 parts. I might have to do this with 1 hand. I mean, 2 hands, maybe. There we go. Anyways, yep, like I said, in here, that's where they cut. So now we still have the connectors. Still have the locations of where these things go. And it looks like there was another green one down here that wasn't mentioned. So I'll have to see what that is. Probably lights or something. But yeah, still have the locations. So for now, we just hold on to both connectors, and we keep referring to our diagram. There's another wire under here that was not mentioned, so we'll have to check it out. And then so we'll go to now our harness here, and then we'll go match up what our radio wiring diagram says. So anyways, we'll trim these jackets back a little bit and use butt connectors and put these things together. Also, this is 16 gauge wire, so we're going to use the 16 gauge cutters to release these jackets. So you want to put it inside the 16 slot, and then you want to get a firm grip of it. So right there might be a little too much, so I'll bring it right there. So what you're going to do is squeeze this together, and then you're going to slide it. Hold the wire with one hand on one side and slide it. I'm not going to yank this because this will yank the whole harness. You need to do this with 2 hands, but have it in the 16. Also, make sure you bought the right butt connectors. You need 16 gauge butt connectors because this is the 16 gauge wire that you're going to be putting together. Alright, so you do need to note that the battery constant, this brown wire, and this blue and yellow one are 14 gauge. So you want to use the 14 side on the cutters. And then also, with further research, we have the dark green wire as the radio illumination wire, and the white and green is the dimmer wire. These are 18 gauge. So your 16 gauge butt connectors will definitely do with these. But the 14, you'll have to get some 14 gauge butt connectors, which I do have. I'll just have to go grab them out the shop. So you'll just need 2 of those. Anyways, once you've got all these cut up, and you let this one stay there because this one has had no use. I'm sure it probably goes somewhere, or else it wouldn't be here, but it was not in use when the radio was working and everything was fine, so we'll go ahead and hook everything else up. So grab our connector, and then we'll start mixing and matching these things up. So like I said, if it says that a certain color goes something like, so this is the car right here, this is the car, this is the connector, this is the radio, match the car to the connector. So it says the right rear speaker wire negative is white on the car, so I'm going to find right rear speaker wire negative on here and mix those together. It's not going to be the same color on here as it is on here. It's okay, just make sure that you're sending the right signal to the right signal. Anyways, I'm going to do that and then get back to you once I've got all of these on and connected with the butt connectors. Okay, so my mistake on earlier, I was saying use butt connectors. I needed to use 14. There was too much wire to fit inside of the 18. So anyways, you can use this mix assortment. I'm just using these blue ones, which I believe is 14. But anyways, yeah, they work. So at this point, once you have everything hooked up, I need to put some connectors on because I got some loose wires back there. Well, just hanging wires. But you can go ahead and put the key in the ignition, turn the key on, make sure your radio works, make sure all your speakers are working, and make sure your radio does not turn on until you turn the key, and make sure it turns off when you turn off the key. So anyways, there's a lot of leftover BS. Don't worry about that. If you just need your radio, then it's just your radio. But you'll need to plug in your radio antenna, which is that black wire down there, bottom left. Anyways, so let me go ahead and put the butt connectors on, and then I'll show you the next step. So everything's all wired up, and we got extra wires taped off that we're not using. These ones I should probably throw a little bit of tape on. Anyway though, I'll go ahead and put all these together and shove it in. But you'll see, you'll go to put your radio in and you're like, huh, what the hell? There's no mounting points. So what you're gonna have to do is, you're gonna have to go to your old radio and pull the brackets off. There's gonna be these, you're gonna have to hit them with the 8mm, get those off and put those screws and those brackets now on this radio. Now this new radio did come with screws, so if you need some new screws to fit in, if it's not the right size, then you can go ahead and use the other screws, but you need those brackets to screw this back in so it can be flush. So again, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take those brackets off and put them on this new radio. So ended up plugging everything back in. And you could see that it comes with a little faceplate, but for my car it wasn't going to allow it to stay on there. If I throw it on right now, it's kind of tacky. So anyways, I'm not going to use it. I don't need it. Your vehicle might need it if it's not this 2001 Toyota Camry. So anyways, You just go ahead and put your 4 screws back in to hold it in place, and then you can put the plastic back on. Just make sure you connect your cigarette lighter again, throw your tray back in, and then connect your battery. So I'll connect the battery and then show you that it does work. And then you just clean up from there. Yep, but it looks good. So here it is, to test to see if I should stop working on crap. Key, ignition, turn the key on. There it is. Dual. And I don't want to get copyrighted, but we're gonna hit a quick.
Stop that. Shoes. Now I'm on the move.
Alright. Key out. Yup, she works. And that's how you install it in a 2001 Camry / any other car. The process is the same, the procedure is the same. I've done this many times now. So anyways, I hope this helps, and I hope you can enjoy some good music. Last thing I'm gonna do is peel the film off and enjoy my new radio. Thanks for watching, thanks for checking it out. Sorry, the sun's kind of blocking this really bad. Anyways, yep, now it's time to clean up.